Oh my goodness, my beautiful water signs. What is going on, y'all? Welcome, welcome, welcome to your daily love reading. This is your girl, Venus Archangel here. I want to quickly go ahead and let y'all know I'm going to be using a different deck this time around because my cheap behind finally got another deck. And I know I'm not cheap. I spent so much money actually this month. But the thing here is, right? I finally got a new deck that I'm using for y'all, and I'm excited to get it into it. I talked about it yesterday, so if you want to, read the post, because I was letting my Gemini moon just go in, just have a good ass time. But yeah, this is the deck. I'm gonna be putting it in the description box below, so y'all can go ahead and get that for yourself if you are interested in learning the tarot or wanting to do the tarot yourself, or wanting to know what other decks you can get that's cool and fun to use. Because I'm gonna have a ton of fun doing this. The only complaint I have is that I wish these cards were a little less flimsy, and on top of that too, hella less slippery. Okay, like the slipperiness is great for the shuffling aspect, but that's as good as it gets. And when you try to grab it, it kind of slides all over the place. But guys, let's do the usual thingamajig, right? The sayings as always, right? If you're not sure of your astrological placements, check the description box below. And also, guys, please remember that these readings may not resonate with everybody, and that is totally fine. Also, guys, please remember that these readings here are like for two people and the relationship itself. So you have to pick either side, and the other side would be the person that you're dating, dealing with, or in a relationship with, and the middle would be the relationship, how it's affected by both parties. Okay, so let's go ahead and get up into this right here. Whoa, love it to some degree. Okay, now judgment here is intense. All right, I like judgment because it shows everybody how much they've grown. It shows everybody that no matter how hard the cycle may have been, you've survived. You've come up to this peak now where you can truly shine that new coat of the person that you've become, pretty much, right? I like it. It's intense, and I really feel like with judgment, right? It's truly like it shows one person that they can overcome so much stuff. They can overcome so many things and still become amazing. They still be their amazing self, and honestly, it can start a new journey as well. Now, this person on this side here has got the Three of Pentacles. Now, this person here, I feel like they're really focused on the practical aspect of things, but they're also looking at the future. They're trying to figure out what the practical shows them as far as a path in legacy, right? Like, where does it lead? Is there a legacy that can be built with this? This person here is looking back and seeing everything that they've been through to even see if there's a future with them, right? But at the same time, the relationship is focusing on the harmony and balance. I don't know if there's necessarily harmony and balance right now. I feel like these two people are in essence doing the same thing, but at the same time, like I'm saying, this relationship is very focused on balance, harmony, and divine timing, patience as well. Let's take a look here at the internal energies to see what's going on. See what I'm saying? These cards be slipping out of my hand. Okay. Alright, y'all. Alright, y'all. Alright, Page of Pentacles is coming up here. So yeah, I feel like this person's really reevaluating the stuff that they've been through to reassess what it is that they have all their value in. What is the value to them? Kind of coming up with their own material dream or their physical dream, something that they want to, some sort of new beginning in which they can manifest into the physical. Now, it could be like they're trying to contemplate an offer here as well. This could be, the Page of Pentacles can be an offer of some sort of stability, or long-term commitment. Even though that the Page of Pentacles can really indicate temporary, tedious work, but it's very detail oriented. Somebody's looking greatly at the details here. All right, water signs. Let's take a look at the internal energies for someone else. I swear these cards are trying to slide on my hand. The Six of Cups. Okay. See, they're pretty much the same thing that's going on here. It's just swapped. This person's looking at what their future can lead with the Page of Pentacles here. But as far as that goes, looking back at the past by reassessing who they are, this person is doing the exact same thing, but they don't have the Judgment card here. I feel like what the cards just did, or what my higher self did, whoever is sending me these messages right now, right? They just did the exact, they just made like a makeshift Judgment card with these two cards here, which is the Three of Pentacles and the Six of Cups. This is like planning for the future, looking ahead, taking notes and making, looking at the details at the same time, looking at the past. It's the same thing that the Judgment card is all about. It's crazy. This person is looking at the past, looking within, remembering the connection in which they've started. Now, what is in the internal energy? Oh my goodness. Like, they ain't joking around here. These people are literally the same. The Moon internally. Well, that's a little bit of a interesting situation. Now, I feel like at the same time, that could be like, it's super intense. Like, the Moon coming up here shows that there is a extreme intense sort of energy that comes up out of this, since each person here is very much looking at the past, and they're both looking at what's practical to them. But at the same time, I do feel like internally the Moon is coming up, and it's kind of makes sense because everybody's looking back at the past, not really necessarily looking at what the future can bring, and they don't necessarily know what that future can bring based off of everything that they've been through, both parties and themselves in the relationship. Yeah. No, they're not sure. And that's not a bad thing. But the thing here is, it kind of can be a little scary, especially when it comes to moving forward or taking kind of, making moves in regards to being together long term when they've been single for so long, or they've been handling their own business and they haven't been, divvying up their own responsibilities with anybody else. So let's take a look at the external energies rather for each party and the relationship, and we'll see what's going on here. Okay, we have the Nine of Pentacles. See what I'm saying? I was thinking somebody was single for quite some time, and it's like stepping outside the comfort zone to even entertain another relationship. That's a hard one. The High Priestess. What? Oh, great. Somebody's not saying anything. And the relationship. What's up? What's up? What's up? Oh my God, water signs. Are you going to be shorter than the rest of the signs as far as time goes? Hope so. Not because, just the reason why I wanted to be a little bit shorter is because I know people have a lot of stuff they got to do during the day, and it's meant to be shorter, but I always go in, and it's like, girl, you are going on. Could you, shorten this up? And I do that for you guys all the time. Like, I always end up going over for water signs a lot. And I'm like, oh man, I'm sure they're like expecting to have like a quick 10-minute break. And they're like, girl, you went on for 20 minutes. But anyway, let's look at this for a second. This person is very much used to being single, very much used to doing things on their own. And yeah, this situation is, I feel like this person, or both parties here, are really kind of fairly new to this connection. Like, they're kind of like, this is kind of starting out fresh, starting new. And it's obviously why this person has the 10 or the Page of Pentacles in their internal energies. I believe that this relationship is blooming and it's new for both people, but at the same time, this person's been alone for quite a long time, and they're trying to figure out whether or not this is worth the effort, or worth the time, or if this is something that matches their value. Like, if this is something that they actually are willing to sacrifice here, wanting to go for. Okay, not in a bad way. Like, I don't think they're trying to be mean or anything like that, but they're just like, okay, let's look at the details. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Okay. And I think they're using their old situations when it comes to relationships as some sort of way to recognize what they need, or see what they need to build, to make their value known, or to figure out what their value is, or what they're looking for in a relationship, which is not a problem. It's totally fine. But they have the Nine of Pentacles here in the external energies, which shows to me that they like I said, they've been single for some time, or they've been single, and now they're trying to look at here, where they need to go, or like, not necessarily where they need to go, but stepping outside their comfort zone. They've been independent. you know, for quite some time, and stepping outside the comfort zone is another thing. And I don't think there's any hesitance. I think that's the call to action, right? That's the thing. They're willing to do it. The moon, however, it does show a bit of hesitation. It can show a bit of hesitation with that Page of Pentacles there, especially if they're taking the time out to look at the details. You're not going to see crap, and they know that. I feel like either they know it or they don't know it, because the moon can be a very I don't know situation anyway. So they could be like, I don't know what the hell to be looking at. I don't know what the hell to expect, and that's okay, right? It's about taking going along with faith, and that's the thing. They probably have to go along with faith, and that's going to require them to leave their comfort zone. You can kind of go and see where I'm going with this. They're willing to do it, I feel, but at the same time, there is a bit of hesitance. They don't have the full story. They don't have all the details that they're looking for, especially they're not going to see it in the dark. Not with the moon there. Now, at the same time, I feel like this individual is concealing something. The person with the Three of Pentacles here, they're concealing some sort of information. I feel like they know who this individual is, and this person don't remember. I feel like they have some connection from the past, and I think that's why this Judgment person is. This person is looking at the past as well. They're like trying to remember. Like, they have some sort of familiarity here, but they don't know. They're not sure. It's a bit of confusion here. But I feel like this person's being secretive. Like, they're not saying what they need to say. They're not being open about what they need to be open about. I feel like this person knows this person from the past, and they're not saying something. Like, it's almost like this person's been, planning for the future, planning to make a future together, and they've been, but they've known each other forever. But this person hasn't even registered; it hasn't even come up in the radar. So then you have this Temperance energy that's kind of like it's a. I don't want to say stalker, because this person is not coming up with any stalker energy. The Knight of Swords, Page of Swords rather, would come up if there was stalker energy. I just feel like perhaps this person has feelings and they never said anything. It could be somebody in their life that's always had feelings and they just never said anything. And it could just be that they were, they're sensitive. Now, Eight of Pentacles and Temperance, what I was saying was, it's like, yeah, everybody's doing their own thing, balancing those, keeping their life balanced and things like that. But the relationship is focusing on balance and harmony. There's still some work that needs to be done regarding that. Obviously, the Eight of Pentacles, and I feel like everybody's focused on on getting it done, focusing on what needs to be worked on, and taking it every step at a time because of the moon here, right? There's not a lot you could do. You can just have to go with the flow, focus on what comes up, and deal with that in the moment. And I feel like everybody's kind of having to go on their instincts to kind of trust themselves and go with the flow with that sense, okay? Now, I do feel that for those of you that are in a relationship already, that this person may be kind of holding some things back about whatever they're feeling, and they could be feeling like, I don't know what they could be feeling, because the Six of Cups talks about nostalgia, or reminiscing, thinking of the past, and it also means a soulmate connection. This person may not just be completely open about how they feel about their connection. They have some sort of, I feel like there is a secret about what they feel about the person, but it's not necessarily like a bad thing. Obviously, they're still planning for the future, and I don't see a third party relationship, okay? But they're secretive about some sort of feeling that they have, or some sort of past situation. And I feel like this person here, like, as I'm saying, like, that's the only thing I could say regarding this individual. Like, they just have some things that they're just not opening up about. They're not being communicative about. And I feel like they're planning, as far as planning for the future, if they want to see where that goes, they gotta at least get an opinion from this individual here, who is looking at the practical side, and who's looking at the details, and who's kind of is also sacrificing their own stable, comfort zone place to be even going about doing this. And it's almost too like maybe this person's holding back and not saying anything because perhaps they don't really want to pursue something in this relationship. Perhaps they want to stay, single and things like that. But I don't think that's the case. I really don't. I really feel like everybody here is just like take care of themselves, doing the best they can, handling their own business, and not really opening up to one another. And that's what leaves the relationship a little bit confusing, and you're not really, very uncertain, because everybody's working hard at something, but nobody knows how anybody feels about it. You know what I'm saying? So this moderation moderation on all things and things like that, and balance and harmony. Well, the balance and harmony perhaps needs to be focused up very much on the emotional aspect, because nobody knows how anybody feels. Everybody has an idea about how they feel, how they feel about themselves, within themselves, but externally, that communication between each other, there's a gap. That's the Eight of Pentacles. There's some work in progress that needs to come up. Concentration on what is external and what's shared between both parties. So that way this judgment energy can be shared within this relationship, see where this is at, and this person here that has ideas about the future can put their ideas forward. And that kind of cohesive, harmonious energy can come into play. Alright, you guys. Didn't go too bad over this time. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you guys tomorrow. Love you guys very much. If you guys want to book a reading, go ahead and click the corner here or the description box below. Alright, y'all. Bye now.